Did someone say something's changed? A little bit. It occurred to me recently, why is there so much screen tearing? That we only have one place to eat on the island. And this would be Avalanche Diner. It's recently remodeled. The only place it was actually remodeled is the stove. Why can't I say that word? Remodeled. It's not remodeled. Because in Glacier's Great Attack, if there were a piece of explosives in there, whoa. My voice just glitched in real life. Explosives in, and it blew up, and then, well, realistically what happened is I didn't turn fire tick off quick enough, and it burnt down half of Hotel Craftifornia, and for roleplay purposes we said that Glacier attacked, and it was Quinn Quinn's fault, or Mr. Quinn, because saying Quinn is very tedious. He was a lifelong Infernian, but he treasoned us, and he turned into a Glacian, and then ratted us out, and then did an attack on here, and it blew up, and a lot of people died, and burned down Hotel Craftifornia. It was a tragedy. Tragedy, not strategy. Also, I have a mint in my mouth, so if you're... That's what it is, I apologize. So I made something for the people of Inferno Ash. This is the Fire and Flame outdoor grill. Even though it's not technically outdoors. We have 5 tables and 10 places for people to sit, which is actually quite a lot of people to sit, because I think in an Avalanche Diner, you can only fit about 20 people. And that place is much bigger than this place. Obviously. In here, I'd say is where the magic happens, but food isn't really magic, it's just science. So we have the sides and desserts up on the top shelf, and then we have the main courses here. There's a wide selection if you actually want to read one. I don't have the book on me. And I got all this stuff set up. Doing this is so much nicer on here than it was back on Asterian Harry, because you can't duplicate stuff on Asterian Harry, obviously, because it's survival mode. But on here you can, because it's creative mode. So this is the menu for it. I don't know why that's like that. That wasn't like that when I made it official. Again, using real years instead of island years for continuity's sake. Okay, this stuff was not like this when I was writing it. It was back here. I don't know why that's really annoying. And we can't sell alcohol at this establishment. The only place you can get alcohol on the island is Junior's Pub and Grub, and no, that cannot be turned into a monopoly since it's the only place you can get alcohol. We have regulated that, so the owner of, or the manager, I'm the owner of the Junior's Pub and Grub because I made it. No, Ryan and I are equally partners, or owners of that place, because that used to be our old house, actually. He showed me that yesterday where we used to go into the house, because it was a secret room, and we had an x-ray machine. We put our beds underneath blocks and leaves, and it made an x-ray machine so you could see through the island. It was really cool. But anyways, there's mundane beer, which is like fake beer in real life. It doesn't have any alcohol in it, but it still has somewhat of a beer taste. I tried it when I was like 6 or 7. I hated it. But we have the mundane, and then water and milk. So milk is $3, water is free, and then the mundane beer to get your beer taste without getting drunk is $2? I don't remember. I also added this little place out here. So if you were to go over to the Barnhouse Grocer, or grocery store, because saying grocer, I know it's supposed to be like grocer as in grocery store, but it sounds like you're saying grocer. It sounds icky. It's a little picnic spot, so you can take your fresh Hot Pockets, or hot pizza sticks. Pizza sticks, because I was hungry for pizza sticks when I built that. Pizza sticks from Super 1, that is. I haven't tried pizza sticks, and never mind, doesn't matter. It's a picnic place. That's it. Oh wait, no, I haven't shown off my house yet. I showed it to Ryan, and for some reason I thought I made a video about it. So this was Sam Play's old house right here. This isn't mine, by the way. And when he went missing, back whenever he went missing, Ryan claimed it. So I made my own house. Why does he have material to bury people? So this house I built as well, except he took it. Over here you got some shelves for your canning goods, if you can, and then in here is the kitchen, if you kitch. And there's so many records on the wall because Sam Play was the original host of Radioactive Records. I don't know if I went over the story on that in a video. So what happened was Sam wanted to create a business of music, so like a broadcasting system or a radio system, since he went to Earth and he saw one like that at a very young age. His father was his mentor. He was big into music. He could play the piano, guitar, and another instrument. I don't know. I have it in the Inferno Ash our website, the GoDaddy website. If you go down below PT photography section, there's a thing. Oh, hey, my charge is complete. You can see our articles that I have written for the storyline of Inferno Ash. It is nowhere near done, just to let you know. His father died when he was like 16, so me, but not really me, the CEO, one of the CEOs on the island, I believe the male one, because I think Ryan's CEO is a female. I don't know if that's only for GTA Online purposes, or if that's just for, like, everything Inferno Ash related. I should ask him about that. The Firestone CEO, he took Sam under his wing, and he raised him as his own son, and he showed him the ways, kind of, well, the rest of the ways you can teach somebody who is 16 to the age of 18. But his mother died while birthing him, so he never had a mother figure. And his father passed away, so that was extremely hard on him because he was very close to him, and he was his mentor, as I said. So he offered a sponsorship, or no, he asked for a sponsorship. No, wait, I don't remember. Avalanche Diner sponsored Radioactive Records as like a Kickstarter thing. He opened his shack near Avalanche Diner, and the people instantly loved the idea of having, or you can listen to pre-recorded music through radio rather than going and seeing music live. So it put the people who played music live out of business, but it made the people of the island very happy. So once the business became successful enough, Sam re-sponsored, well, not re-sponsored, he sponsored Avalanche Diner back as a form of thank you for what you've done, and they get free music from him, or they used to. But he went missing last year, and he was presumed dead at the age of 23, so that was very difficult for the, oh, I should probably say why he went missing. He had to shut down the business because the core went to its 50th stage, which produced a lot of radiation. So there was a lot of waves emitting off of the core, and then you couldn't hear anything through the radios because the radioactive waves were stronger than the waves of music being transmitted. So the business ultimately went out of business because he couldn't keep paying the bills for the lot. And then he didn't want a pick-me-up from the CEO again, so he went out on his own trying to get music, but nobody wanted to go back to see music live because they were so used to seeing it play on speakers or through radio. And the only thing he basically knew was how to play music. I mean, he wasn't dumb. Like, he knew how to speak and do math and stuff. But skill-wise, he only knew how to play music. He tried getting another job, but he ultimately got declined. So he couldn't buy food or clothes or stuff like that, and he went missing back in 2018, and then he was presumed dead 6 months-ish later because we couldn't find him. Actually, what happened with that is Ryan and I, the real story behind that, like the real-life story, was Ryan and I installed mods on the It's Jerry and Harry server, so we had ambient sounds, mo bends, all that kind of stuff, and texture packs. And with ambient sounds, you can't hear in-game music. I don't know if you could hear ambient music, like the music, this kind of music. You couldn't hear the jukebox or note block music. So that's why Radioactive Records went out of business, and then it recently got revamped with the Radioactive Records Arena. This leading to my next bit. Ryan upgraded the interior of the Guardian Tower, and he made it the Radioactive Records. I'm so burpy. We've done 2 host shows before. I didn't record them because they were very awkward. I don't like doing... Well, I love doing that stuff because it unlocks story mode features, but I hate doing it because if I can't think of something right on the dot, I have to keep him waiting. It's the great thing about making videos is I don't have to do that. If I screw up, I can edit it out. But he was the host for both times. I was the guest for both times. Last time I was a doctor. Dr. Papers, please. Dr. Papers. Dr. Papers. I think is what my name was. It was a pun on papers. But I built this house for Sam when he was doing very well for himself, because I was Sam back then, and then when Radioactive Records went out of business, we named a villager Sam Play, and then he was a white villager. So whenever I see a white villager on the island, I automatically go over there and see if it's Sam. It's not. So Sam is missing, most likely dead. This is the bathroom. He added the towels. I didn't do that, so I guess if you add towels to a house, it's yours now. But we both have houses up there. I've shown off both of them already. Mine is way smaller than his. I've built all 3 of them. I built all 3 Sky Village houses. So this is his right here. He added on to his yard. So under here, this right here has been added on. Before, this was the absolute edge of the map. So you couldn't add on over here at all. And actually, a funny thing that is happening right now, or I don't know if that's correct wordage or not, that's not even a word. The trash chute. Before, that was just empty space down there. Now it's Trident Park. So if he throws stuff out of the window, it's going to land in a tree of Trident Park. I need to fix that. But I built all 3 houses up here. That was Daisy's, or yeah. So my original thought of this being was to be a hotel, and then Daisy joined the island, and she was the head of the Department of Agriculture for Inferno Ash, and then I built this house. Actually, no, I built his house next, and there was a tree there similar to these here, and I built it. Was basically a tree house, but then we didn't need the tree anymore, and it was very icky looking, so I got rid of the tree and replaced it with a spike. It's not necessary to have a spike there. I mean, it is to keep it up for realism's sake, but it's kind of an eyesore a little bit. I mean, not any more than these beasts are. But then I offered Daisy this house since she moved on to the island, and she took it and she upgraded it. I changed her bed color to royal blue because that's her favorite color. Is that royal blue? I don't know. I may be colorblind. But she changed her kitchen, and I accidentally did something. I got rid of her Farmer of the Month plaque or something. It was a reward that I gave her. It was a little spoof, just to give her as like a praise thing, a praise of gratitude. I don't think that's the correct wording, but she customized it a little bit. I'm assuming it was her. If it wasn't her, somebody joined our island and fixed this place up, because it did not look like this originally. But I'm very glad that I did not turn this into a hotel. Have I shown this place off? I feel like I've shown this place off, but I'm not entirely sure. It wouldn't have held very many people, so it probably would have just turned into a guest house, which is actually what this place is. Ryan rents this out to people for I don't know how much a month. Right up here. This is really cool. This is the bedroom up here. I remember building all of these houses like it was yesterday. So Ryan rents his house out to people who want to stay up here. And then my house is not rentable. But I have added to people. So Ryan didn't like the blue armor I had on the horse. It was diamond armor. We got that from somebody who was leaving Skyblock, and they just gave us random diamond armor. So I put it on Trojan. That's not a pun on... Well, okay. I'm going to leave that there. But we lost Hydesman. Hydesman? Yeah, it was Hydesman. I don't remember exactly what happened. It happened a couple days ago, but I don't remember what happened. But it's Hydesman Hyde, man. So we no longer have the lime green sheep. We have Cookie Cola instead of Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola is bears and Santa Claus. We got a new one, Ruben, which is the pig you have Minecraft story mode, and then we still have Ladle. Don't ask why I named him Ladle. I honestly don't know. There's a reason I made my house so small. I was uncompensating. And this has been here since the Christmas of 2017, I believe it was. I made an Xmas list because Daisy wanted me to make one. So I made one. I asked for a GMC, and she made me a GMC. So since he took over Sam's house and now lives in that one, that's his current residence. And then that's just a guest house, as I've said like 4 times now. This is mine, but not really, because I'm not playing as a CEO at the moment. Oh, I'm still wearing the waiter uniform. This property is protected and secured with ISTDs. It's IASTDs, or STDS, which is actually what it's supposed to be. It's Inferno Ash Security Team Defense System. but the initials are IASTDs. So they're, what the heck? Why is there a turtle egg in here? The original concept of this building was to be a restaurant, but that obviously is no longer the case. I made a fountain. Up here we have the kitchen. It's a kitchen. And then finally, the bed, well, kind of. Whatever this room is. And then the bedroom. My guy is kind of old. My CEO, he's kind of old. He has gray hair, so he's kind of hard of hearing. So that's why we have such big speakers. And technically, these cameras are copyrighted because they can see what the TV is playing. So their footage has to be deleted half the time. If it was real life, I guess. And then there's a balcony that you can see the sunrise. Or the moon set. Yeah, I think that's how that works. Up here we have the elemental unions colors. So we have Inferno Ash for red, Glacia for blue, Leaf and Dia for green, and Airsville for white. I made these two small and next to each other because the CEO is very elemental union oriented. So even though Inferno Ash and Glacia are at war right now, he still respects them. And then we have Leaf and Dia and Airsville. They are odd proportion for no exact reason. Ryan actually switched the red for the green because he said the Leaf and Dias were poor, which is true, but I made them, I'm not discriminating on my roof, okay? I just made the proportions of the building weird. If anything, it would be him discriminating. What else was I going to show? I'm kidding, it doesn't matter. None of these factions are real. It was a joke. We upgraded the cemetery. So he did the heads on top, and he told me when I made a video describing this to tell you that these are not their actual heads. They are some type of memento. Memento? These heads represent what they are or what they did in some way. So that's what I mean. It was also expanded. I just extended it out a couple places because the only two graves that were actually in here was Sam Play, the radio star, and George Cockatoo. Actually, no, there was three because there was Sonia Smith as well. These dates may not be as accurate as their ages say in their obituaries. I wrote their obituaries and I tried to get their dates and their ages as close as possible, but it just got so tedious at the end that I just gave up. Oh, I feel a burp. So first up we have Sam Play. He was a radio star, so underneath their name I have what they were known for. He died. Have I shown? Yeah, I've shown off the secretory graves. But his body isn't actually under here. None of their bodies are under here. It just makes it look like there is bodies under here. If they did die, their bodies would be back where I showed them in their royal graves down where I showed you them. Next up we have George Cockatoo. He was the king of the cockatoos. Sonia Smith, she was an island CEO. She was the one who I said that faked her death, and I helped fake her death if I was a CEO. And yeah. Winston Janssen was Deegan's son. He died at the age of 12, and he died from the core erupting or shaking. There was a space quake. He died from it. I've already mentioned that. Mason Riggs, high-rank soldier. I've mentioned all of these. Connor Curse, the KMT developer. Rachel Empire. This is one that I did not cover. So Rachel Empire is the one who helped develop the Empire building. Wow, that is big. I usually always see it when I'm flying, so it's like, that's a pretty big building. But when you're down here, that's a big building! And this baby head is not supposed to be insulting. It was the closest thing that he could find through the command block generator for a head of a baby. Frederick Nurk, he was the son of a royal person. The royal person actually wasn't buried here, so I'm not entirely sure of why the baby was buried here, but they did die from radiation poisoning of the core, so I felt bad and I made a grave for them. We got Carlson Cockatoo, which was a family of the Cockatoo family, which is a royal family on the island, or was. Simon Sardolph, he was the originating person who made the core metabolizer. I actually need to show that off. Then Harold Cockatoo, I believe he was the oldest or second oldest Cockatoo, and then Laura Ashton. It says head engineer, but she was the mother of Haley Ashton, whom is the manager of Ashtonburg. She was the one who supposedly began the construction of Ashtonburg, who got the permit to start building here. So that's why it says head of engineering. So as the thing I was going to show you is not there. It's in the Department of Science. But it's the core Okay, I was about to say, are you all out of here? This is the core metabolizing room. These are supposed to mean like computer circuit, motherboard stuff, and then over here, these levers control the core's metabolism, and then the buttons do stuff as well. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm just I don't know what I am, actually. I'm an island official. That's who I am. We have conduits here, which make it look like they're floating, so that's cool. And then we have them in an enclosure, which is doing stuff. This is difficult, okay? I make stuff to make sense. I don't know how to explain them. This is why we need a narrator. That and my voice is going out. There's 2 reasons why I made iron doors here. 1, there's a disease room in there filling with cyanide gas and raxaminium. If you know what cyanide gas is, you know that you would instantly die from it. If you know what raxaminium is, you know you would... It's not a fun death. Because what happens is cyanide is a disease from Earth, obviously, and then raxaminium is a disease from 3 different planets from a universe millions of light years away from Earth. So there is no cure at the moment for it, but we are working on a cure, or the Department of Science is working on a cure for it, since there was a minor outbreak in December. The new disease evolving in Junior's Empire. God, I cannot speak. So since that happened, we're creating a cure for the disease, and then we told the public that we're still researching the disease to find a disease, but really what we're doing is housing the disease, so if we need to use it in battle, we can. Raxaminium operates as a hive mind. So the host, even if they inject somebody with the part of the disease or a gene of the disease who has not been in a host, it still is controlled by the host, the actual host. So like me, Raxaminium. So if I were to bite somebody and they turned, I could control them and tell them what to do in my mind. I'm a hive mind.